Final 6 games at Kentucky went 1 touchdown, 8 interceptions. Has his first interception at BC. And here is the spread option for Georgia Tech off the pitch. Isaiah Willis.
And he's surrounded by better personnel this year.
Talented freshman is in, Dedrick Mills, playing that B-back spot, and he gets engulfed.
Which is option 3.
Thomas keeps it himself this time to the edge into plus territory. It's down for the Yellow Jackets. Opening drive for Georgia Tech here in Dublin. Thomas the other way. Pitches this time, and that gets swallowed up. Quay Searcy.
Want to be aggressive, but it's hard to be aggressive against this option team.
Thomas on the roll. Gets taken down behind the line. Strahan again. A guy that Steve Adazio thinks is going to play on Sundays, by the way, Milano. 3rd down and 15 for Georgia Tech. Thomas to throw. Has time. And he's got his man over the middle. Right at the 40. Going to be go time for Georgia Tech. 4th and 1. First quarter. Thomas, the pitch. First down. Clinton Lynch gets a couple and moves. 3rd first down of the drive for Georgia Tech. And they'll go straight up the middle this time. Dedrick Mills again, the freshman who Paul Johnson raved about his vision already as a freshman. Thomas, pitch again. And Mills, luckily for Georgia Tech, could have been a turnover, wasn't. 3rd and 11 under 4.5 first quarter. Flag down. Thomas wings it. It is caught at the 5-yard line. Searcy. If 5 on 3rd and 11, now 1st and goal. Mills, a short gain, gets about half of it. Matthew Jordan is into the game at quarterback. In for Thomas. Jordan to the edge. Touchdown! He was in a beautiful architectural facility in Ireland. Off the pitch on the opening play of the drive, and a first down for Georgia Tech as a flag comes in as well. Lynch. Will they get one more play off before the end of the first quarter? And the answer is yes. They go straight up the middle. We've seen Mills in that spot quite a bit with a holding penalty on this drive. First play, quarter number 2, Justin Thomas with a pitch. And a couple of yards to the 45 for Dedrick Mills to go on 3rd down. Last year that dropped significantly. Thomas giving ground. Thomas back to the 25. Thomas eludes trouble and flips it to the 40 where it's incomplete. 11:85, Battle of the Bands Castle, the site. Georgia Tech off its 15th blocked kick since 2013. Gets the ball back, and the freshman Dedrick Mills. Straight up the gut on 2nd down. Marcus Marshall, the sophomore. 14 yards on the ground so far for Georgia Tech as Thomas loads to throw. 3rd down. Thomas using his feet this time, and he is driven back short of the 35. Ty Schwab, the junior, as Georgia Tech is pinned back to its own 1-yard line. Thomas to throw out of bounds. 2nd down. 2nd down for Thomas in the offense, and they will run this time with Mills bullying to the 5-yard line. Gain of
firm right here.
Thomas tucks it. Good apples there. Strahan
BC.
Couple of turnovers for Tolles. Mentioned the high risk propensity for the transfer from Kentucky. Georgia Tech with some time to work with. Not exactly a quick strike passing offense in situations.
Both coaches expected this to be a hard-fought, low-scoring affair anyway, so I think Paul Johnson's completely happy being up 7 in this weather going into halftime.
Mills again, tumbling forward.
Really send the house and get after Patrick Tolles if they're going to win this game.
See how aggressive Georgia Tech can get. Don't want to play much man coverage, Ted Roof said, with the wet track. As Thomas gets engulfed behind the line. Second down and long coming up. Loss of 3 officially. Second down for Thomas. Straight up the gut, and not much there. That defensive line for Boston College. So far this afternoon in Dublin. Quick hit to the outside, Brad Stewart, and incomplete.
I like it.
Learning something new every day. First down for Georgia Tech, and Marcus Marshall squeezes through a tiny gap.
Hasn't amounted to much in this game thus far.
We told you BC hasn't seen Georgia Tech since 2012, but Steve Adazio has some experience with the triple option and defending it when he was coaching up in Connecticut. Down and 1 for Thomas in the offense. Cersei in motion, they go up the middle, and we will see. Marshall.
Back inside to get to the edges outside.
Thomas, quick hitter to the outside. A rare pass today for Georgia Tech. Ricky June has been a frequent target.
With that, not knowing who your quarterback is, and you just continue to win national championships.
Easy as that for Nick Saban. Marshall. Third down and 2. Quick pitch. Marshall again. Got a block out front. Down the sideline he goes. First down, Georgia Tech. And Willis and Cersei, the other backs, with successful blocks on that carry. Willis out in front that time. Penetration was too much. Tackle for loss for Boston College already today. Georgia Tech will run it again. Straight up the gut. Ball's on the deck. BC is on it. Good apple. And didn't get it. Couple of comeback teams possibly in college football this year, both 3-9 last season. Georgia Tech goes with Marshall.
And both of these teams had all of those 2 categories.
Thomas on the pitch on second down. This is Green to the outside, and he's to the 25 and not much more. The Thomas on the move. He is knocked down. John Johnson, the senior,
got it into the end zone.
So now Thomas and Georgia Tech looking for an important drive. He wings it down the field. A lot of contact. And a Georgia Tech team, which has the most rushing yards in the country the last 8 years, held to 86 so far, 3 quarters plus. And that's going absolutely nowhere. Diedrich Mills
on that defensive line of scrimmage.
Best defense in the FBS last year, yardage-wise. BC trying to hold up on third down, and Thomas pierces it to the 46-yard line.
That's impressive.
Cersei in motion. He gets the pitch and shimmies for a couple of yards. Green started to move, goes back. Thomas to Mills on the run, and only maroon jerseys. Don't forget.
And right now, Georgia Tech has to get something done with short time.
Under 9 to go. Thomas on the roll, throws it, incomplete. He wanted Stewart, and here comes the flag. Georgia Tech, just the 8th of the day for the Yellow Jackets. Thomas, blockers in front. Mills got lit up, and Thomas, they say it's Georgia Tech.
Pulled out.
That's the way it'll stay. Gain of 5 for Thomas. Mills gets another carry after the earlier fumble, and he shakes into BC territory even deeper to the
attack.
First down, straight up the gut, and nothing there. Zach Allen came in to submarine that play in Mills. Second down after the run of 20. With the rain coming down for most of the afternoon in Dublin. Late morning stateside. Thomas, toss. Marshall has no help on the fringe. BC hems him in. Connor Strahan wants. Thomas giving ground. Thomas chased by Allen. He just has to whip it out of bounds. And incomplete. Fourth down, Georgia Tech.
I think fourth and this long, Jason,
First down for Georgia Tech. Down by 4. Thomas looks one way, meets the rush, and keeps his feet. Thomas gets it out of bounds. Boy, that's a strong play to get away from 10 from the 41. Georgia Tech needs 59 yards. Thomas hit again and dropped this time. Loss today for Boston College. No hurry up from Georgia Tech. 3rd and 19. Thomas down the sideline, incomplete, looking for June. 4th down, 2 timeouts left.
On what would be the winning drive.
That's where you end up. Thomas, 4th and 19. He's got a man, and he's got a first down. Oh my goodness. Searcy sits in the middle of the cut. 3rd-year starter Thomas. Still over 2 to play. He keeps the ball and pitches. Searcy again. And the edge cut off as he gets a shoulder from Johnson. 2nd down, out of bounds. Clock stops. Once the ball's set, clock moves. Thomas to throw, and he airmails this one. 3rd down coming up. He wanted
needed on that play.
Transfer from Georgia in his first year as well. 3rd down for Thomas, looking for June, and he's got him to the 25, and then some. Ricky. First down for Thomas. He keeps. Thomas peering through the defense. Down to the 13, maybe the 12. 2nd down coming up here. BC only 1 timeout left. Thomas to throw. He doubles back. Thomas lost his towel, got the first down. First replays. Clock reset to 47 for Justin Thomas and Georgia Tech. On the ground, couple of yards. Dedrick Mills, the freshman, and Justin Thomas.
You essentially have 3 plays in 1 all the time anyway.
Pitch to Mills, the freshman. Crashes in. Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Involved in that play right there. How about rugby? Rugby, they pitched the ball around a little bit, but yeah, that did not look normal.
Georgia Tech back in the win column.